So our lead this hour, coming from Hoops Hysteria, Kevin Durant. Now, he requested to gallop away from the Nets. And it appears he will not be the only Brooklynite making a mad dash out of Flatbush. Now, we are hearing that his compadre, Kyrie Irving, will also be making a beeline for a new locale as he continues his nomadic lifestyle. Not only does Kyrie Irving now want out after opting in a couple of days ago, but wait, there's more. He's also got a specific destination that he would like to go to. You talk about having some chutzpah. So if you have not been following along, it's been a roller coaster of a beginning to NBA free agency with the Durant story and now Kyrie Irving. But if you missed it, Kyrie Irving has his mind set on heading west. Go west, young man. We are told that he is solely focused on playing for a team that failed to make the postseason this last year, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Fakers. He's planning on playing there. At least that's the reporting. So let us discuss the question. What do you make of Kyrie Irving's planned escape from Brooklyn? So I've got Chipmunks, Guardian Angel, and Kodak. And we will combine all of these random things together, and we are going to make poutine. I haven't had poutine in a while. It's a delicious dish. Greatest thing ever to come out of Canada. Not hockey, poutine. All right, so to tip things off here, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, are continuing the time-tested NBA tradition. The offseason in the NBA is more entertaining than the regular season. Does anyone disagree with that statement? Raise your hand or be silent for the rest of time. It is. The regular season is a snooze cruise, is what it is. This month of July, like late June, July, is much more entertaining. The engagement is better. It's wonderful. Every summer, it hasn't always been like this, but certainly it seems like the last 10, 15 years it's been like this. We get outrageous tales of unhappy ball players having conniption fits, demanding to play on other teams. And they get their way because it's the NBA. Whatever the players want, it's the players' league. Now, will the last person leaving Brooklyn's locker room please turn out the lights? The party's over. The mass exodus here. Kevin Durant flipping the switch. He turned on the light, and now Kyrie acting like a cockroach, scurrying across the floor trying to find a way out, away from the light. Now, the Nets, remember when they formed this super team, they had dreams, big dreams of becoming a modern-day basketball dynasty. And you know and I know that has gone up in smoke. Poof! Just like that. And from a Disney storybook ending to a Big Apple horror show, chainsawed by angry chipmunks in a haunted house, Kyrie Irving and Kevin. That's actually not a bad title for a horror movie. Chainsawed by angry chipmunks in a haunted house. Anyway, Kyrie is going to be a rental wherever he goes. I don't doubt that he's going to be traded, but he's going to be a rental. He's got 1 year left on the contract he opted into, which means Kyrie has no reason on God's green earth to stop acting like a cartoon character, a spoiled, malcontent cartoon character. Now, furthermore, do the Lakers have a legitimate path to get Kyrie Irving? Now, you know when it comes to the Lakers, I am fair and balanced. I am the voice of reason. I am the bastion of purity when it comes to that. But there is no way, without some finagling, But anyone who uses common sense would say, no. All right, a lot of potholes and debris on the road. So for this to happen, for Kyrie to get his wish, and for the Lakers to get a guy who's guaranteed to miss about half the games, and if any big social issue in the United States pops up, Kyrie will take a vacation. Or if his sister's birthday is there, he'll take a break. The Lakers are going to need a guardian angel. They're going to need a guardian angel. The early whispers are, if they're to be believed, the Nets they're willing to play ball with Durant. But when it comes to Kyrie, Uncle Drew, it's got to be different, doesn't it? Like, it's got to be different. The Laker roster is a collection of broken down old dudes. Now, they're not old dudes in real life, but sports old dudes. Russell Westbrook or Westbrick can't shoot, and he thinks he's God's gift to basketball. They've got no meaningful draft picks until around the year 2030. It's a flop house at this point. It's the wrong side of the tracks. And in order to facilitate a trade between the Lakers and the Nets, you got to have draft picks. You got to have a couple of good young players. They have none of that. Brooklyn, they would have to capitulate to Irving's wants and desires. And why would they do that? If there's a villain, a number one villain, it's Kyrie Irving in the Nets story. He's the skunk at the garden party. He's the one. Now, he was invited, but he turned out to be an uninvited guest. He's Joseph Merrick in terms of Nets ownership. He's the elephant man because you look at the dominoes. Now, Durant's got his own issues there, but Kyrie Irving, the amount of games he missed, the volume of time he missed, that directly correlated to the downfall of the Brooklyn basketball team. And so Kyrie Irving is the scapegoat. His truancy and sourpuss attitude, bad body language, led to where we are today. That means the Nets brass should not help Kyrie find a soft landing. Now, I'm not saying you don't trade Kyrie, but you certainly don't send him to a glamour team, even though the Lakers have sucked recently. They're still perceived by the media as a glamour team. But keep an eye on, if I'm the Nets, I say, you know what? I'm going to trade you, but I'm going to trade you to the hinterlands, to the boondocks. And these are not necessarily bad teams, but these are teams that are not sexy. They're not the cool kids. They're not the usual suspects. So that would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let Kyrie spend a year enjoying the nice Minnesota winters, and he can go fishing, ice fishing with Hollering James. The Trailblazers go down the Oregon Trail and hang out in Portland, or the Charlotte Hornets. Like any of those three teams, I'd be okay. But I'm not trading them to the Lakers. I'm trading Kyrie to the Mavericks because that's a team that's a sexy team right now with Luka. So I wouldn't do that. All right, parting shot. What kind of value does Kyrie Irving have on the auctioning block? So the short answer is it's not nothing, but it's close to bupkis. Kyrie Irving at this point, if he was a company, he would be Kodak. Now, at one time, that was the world's biggest film company. And they never adapted when people started using smartphones. They were completely lost, and people weren't using film as much anymore, if not at all. And so they ended up vanishing. That company was around for 120 years, Kodak. One of the biggest companies in the world, certainly in America. And they failed to evolve, and they went away. It's all about keeping up with the times. And that sounds like the Kyrie Irving story. Kyrie was, and it still has the talent as a blue chip player, but his attitude is that of a penny stock. He's the joker in the deck. There's a warning label: bipolar, undependable, reckless, highly flammable, it says on the warning label. And even with all that said, again, I am not saying he's not going to be traded. I'm the Nets, though. The advice is you obviously don't give him what he wants completely and send him to the team he wants to play for. But someone will inevitably make a trade for two reasons, okay? Door number one, the old argument that people in sports always make, you never give up on talent, right? You never give up on talent. And door number two, there's a sucker born every minute, and many of them end up running professional sports franchises. They're daydreamers and night thinkers and vice versa and all of that.